AstraZeneca moved into Bear Cave faster than a group of gypsies at a trash dump. I don't blame them, it happens to be in the nature of pharmaceutical companies to take whatever they want. Yet here in CrossArk 11 we don't approve of vaccines that do not reach a minimum standard of 80% success rate. If you think about it, out of all the current vaccines out there, AstraZeneca must be the food stamps of vaccines, right? I myself am not above looting the shizzle out of these slippery little hobgoblins, because if it isn't going to be me, it's probably going to be some politicians. And let's be honest, they are going straight for the Viagra. You can only fail to satisfy your partners so many times before the relationship starts to get shaky. Now, as you might have noticed, my method for rating the space is immaculate. You see, it took immense mathematical calculations to perfect how many family members I had to use as human meat shields. That's right, I bred myself an army of Sokolots from Mrs. Long's long stego line. I fed them with love and care just so they could get whipped in the face by projectiles shaped like dildo chicken nuggets and IKEA meatballs. We push forward past the Elon Musks who have patiently been standing in line waiting for their turn to get vaccinated. Nevertheless, considering myself a priority, I opt to push Betty White and her orphans out of the way. Because when it comes down to it, Leo from the Titanic did not survive the boat trip, but Billy Zane did. And if that is not a lesson to be learned from, then what is? That's right, lunatics, I'm teaching you to put yourself as priority number one. Driving was clearly never a skill I mastered in real life, yet for some reason it seems like I wasn't able to master it in Ark either. So here we are, slowly dragging Mr. Overweight Sokolot's sweaty body across his family's corpses elegantly in an attempt to get to the remaining heavy dildo dispensers. Embracing the concept of cremation funeral, we promptly realize we have no crematorium at our disposal, so we opt for a different method in these trying times. Thus we respectfully make Mr. Sokolot pummel his sibling's carcass to dust in front of our eyes, which leaves us with a sensation of pride that words cannot possibly describe. The turrets are down, and it's time for Barney the dinosaur to make sure that our gentlemanly reputation isn't tarnished by witnesses that can identify us later on. So we promptly find ourselves whispering some trigger words into Barney's ears, triggering the lovable paranoid schizophrenic's PTSD once more. Consequently, I find myself sitting spectating the rebirth of Barney's wonderful personality transform what once was a peaceful civilized Velo lineup into a reverse baby shower where the theme of the party is murder. Slowly but steadily we murder all the witnesses, wiping any evidence of the crime. Now to proceed to the next part, we need to go and collect some handy dandy Play-Doh from the Uber outside, which obviously all Ubers have. Obviously this is the service I expect if my Uber driver wants 5 stars. I've always wondered to myself if the people that build a lot in Ark are the same people that grew up watching Bob the Builder as children. The people that like to create stuff with their hands and minds, simply put, creative glue sniffers. The body bags from the Stegos and previous kits are still hovering like happy little reminders in the sky. So we grab them before they despawn, because recycling is key to a sustainable future, and I will be damned if I'm not doing my part. Let's be real here guys, one of the best gimmicks the big oil companies ever tricked the society into believing was that we have to be careful with our personal carbon footprint. Do not get me wrong, I support the idea of being careful, but when I drop a napkin on the ground compared to an oil company poorly maintaining an oil pipeline, I feel like one is worse than the other. Absolute wank buckets. I'm not seeing many doctors in the area, so my schizophrenia convinces me it is best we murder the only 4 working staff employees and take all the vaccines to safety. Wouldn't want to see Betty White's fan club associate this pharma company with bad press. I mean, someone has to think about the poor stock shareholders. Leave it to a pharmaceutical company to have their production company inside of a cave. If we happen to see a bunch of North Korean orphans looking like they are holding mining equipment and seemingly undernourished, I'm sure it will just be a coincidence. Would you look at all that organization? Smells a little bit German in here if you ask me. They have names on the vaults for resources and materials for crafting more dildo turrets for the front wall. Whoever the designer of the cave was is to be respected, and if given the opportunity he should use his status to murder his co-worker whom decided to build the lazy-ass turret defense. When looking into something this organized, it's hard not to notice the one thing sticking out like a sore thumb on a prostitute, and in this case it happens to be a vault not aligned with the others. There isn't much information to it and my curiosity piques, so on we go with my favorite Noah Victor Play-Doh. Who fun fact was created by mistake when something went wrong in his family's soap factory back in 1930. Originally it was supposed to be a wallpaper cleaner. Personally I think he did an excellent job. Well, would you look at that, even AstraZeneca plays with Play-Doh. Also there seems to be quite a few things in here ranging from C4, flak, blueprints, emotional trauma and structures for the base, and some next level Geneva Convention contract breakers. Well, twist my nipples and call me Sally, it was about time someone decided to donate tech items to the Erectile Deficiency Panda Fund. We can't use the tech yet, but who are we to say no to such a generous donation? By the way, I forgot to mention this raid was done after a mind wipe for crafting purposes. I needed the stego saddles to get in here and wasn't in the mood to let them fortify the walls too much. I will have to send them a thank you letter signed yours truly later on. However, I am fully aware that our current generation is 100% more in support of instant gratification, so it's best I show them some sort of thanks right away. Otherwise, who knows what kind of reaction they might have. One gift idea is to do some professional cleaning. No one wants to see a cluttered home, and I'm sure that they will be overcome with joy knowing that we gave them some free space to move around more freely. You are welcome, you little hobgoblins. This is the feeling of pure satisfaction right here. It's a bit sad that I'm putting a few North Korean orphans out of a job, but it is a price I'm willing to pay. I just want you to remember I'm uncomfortable with the word hero. Quick sneak peek at the loot from the raid, because why not? If you watched this far into the video for some odd reason, do me a favor and type AstraZeneca in the comments section. It's fascinating to me to see the difference in YouTube's algorithm. Also, it's fun to see the people that have been watching from the start like little predators out enjoying the sunshine before committing some lovable crime. I am going to have to sign up to Weight Watchers by the looks of how elegantly I jumped back into the cave, so one last thing to do here, and that's to milk every single resource out of this cave. Therefore I went home and collected my fanciest flak blueprints that had been donated to us so far, and I will be making a few flak kits. Hopefully this will enable me to run my head right through the wall into the living room of my future neighbors' homes. Remember friends, community service never sleeps. It does however take naps, and that's why it has been a while since I made a video. That about sums it up. I hope you all successfully stay away from flaming rabies, and if it comes down to it, remember, don't be Leo in the Titanic, be that guy that survives. See you in the next one, lunatics.